Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about white balance and do you need to set it? Let's go. Okay, white balance. Do you need to set it? Yes. Yes, you do. Thank you so much for watching the video and hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. Wait, you might want to know why. Okay, so do you need to set your white balance? The answer is yes, you do. For photos, we'll talk about that after. But first we're going to talk about video. So you might be wondering, what is white balance? White balance is defining what is white to your camera when there's a number of different color balances of light. We did a blog post about color temperature. I'll leave it in the description box below. So some questions people have is, do I need to manually set my white balance? The answer is yes, kind of. You can use a preset in your camera to get a pretty neutral color, and some of them do a really good job. But there are some situations where you're going to need to set a custom white balance to get a neutral white. But you might be saying, yo, Becky, my auto white balance works pretty good most of the time. So auto white balance works great the majority of the time. However, if you switch angles at all, you are gonna see a shift in your white balance, because auto white balance gets confused easily. So if having no shift is important to you, consider using a preset or a manual white balance. So most cameras allow you to do a custom white balance by just holding a white piece of paper or a white t-shirt, something that's neutral, in front of the camera, take a photo, and it uses that to set a white point. So that's generally how you set a custom white balance. It's slightly different on each camera, but that's generally how it works. White balance is just one of those things when you're shooting video about getting your shot as close to perfect in camera as possible. It's super important, just like shutter speed, just like exposure. If you're changing locations often, like if you're vlogging, keeping it on auto might be the most convenient. If you're doing video and you're shooting with multiple cameras, this is where white balance is gonna come into play a huge amount. If you have a custom white balance for both cameras, those shots are gonna match a lot better than if you had left both of them on auto. Let's talk about photos. So if you're shooting raw, white balance adjustments happen in post later. You do not need to set them in camera. The only reason why you would need to set it in camera is just so the back of the camera preview looks neutral. I'd actually leave your camera on auto white balance if you're shooting raw, because then you have the camera's best guess at what that white point actually is at the time of shooting. So guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to share it also. Hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. Okay. Happy Friday, guys. Today we're talking about white balance. It's probably cookie. What's the next question?